What's up, everybody? It's your boy Johnny, back here with another video. Today I'm doing another Elvis video, and as you can see, I'm wearing one of my Elvis t-shirts. Okay? I don't ever wear an Elvis t-shirt, I notice, when I do my videos, because I don't have that many. I think this is one of two I have. But anyways, today I'm doing an unboxing and a review, another unexpected one, because I forgot I ordered this, and so I figured I'd show it to you guys. And it's this. For the first time, one of his movies on Blu-ray, which is really well deserved to be on Blu-ray, is this movie. King Creole. Pretty awesome, man. So I'm going to do an unboxing of it, review it, tell you how it looked, how it sounded. But before I do that, I want to give a little history thing on King Creole. So here we go. And actually, a few years ago, I did like a little spotlight on this movie for the 60th anniversary. I may put that link in the description, but that video is not really good. Because I'm like I said before, I'm not as comfortable as I am now. I hate my earlier videos. Oh my gosh. But maybe I'll put it in the description. I'll give you the choice if you want to watch it or not, or if you can live through it. But anyways, so let's talk about this movie before I do an unboxing of it. All right, so this is Elvis's fourth film, last from the 1950s, and the last movie to actually be on black and white also, and the last movie before he went to the military in the army. So, and this movie was one of few movies that was shot on location. This takes place in New Orleans. And it was actually shot in New Orleans. And this is based on a book called A Stone for Danny Fisher that came out in the early 50s. But it was rewritten. And the original book was about a boxer, and it's located like in New York, in the New York area. But this is actually about a guy, obviously, who wants to be a singer who lives in New Orleans. So, and this was, all I want to say is this was a great movie. And it's, a lot of people say, it's rumored that this was one of Elvis's favorite movies, which is understandable because it was a great dramatic role. Had a great cast, great director. It's just, to me, with King Creole, it was one of those movies that the stars aligned with how the movie went about and how good it was. And this is actually one of Elvis's longer movies. This is just under 2 hours. And the thing about this movie is it doesn't keep you bored. It keeps you interested the whole time. And I think a lot of people also like this movie because, it's the young, rebellious Elvis of the 50s. But this is a great film and it really deserved to be on Blu-ray. So let's just get started now with the review. I think I talked enough about that. So anyways, if I have to add more stuff, I will. But here we go. All right, so this is, as you can see, is through Paramount. So Paramount, the day this came out April 21st. They came out with 6 movies that day. And it's a special series that Paramount started called Paramount Presents. So I'm gonna read this little paragraph in the back and I'll give you an idea what they're doing. All right. Paramount Pictures Home Entertainment is proud to spotlight a new line of Blu-ray releases for collectors and fans. Paramount Presents. From celebrated classic to film lover favorites, each title comes directly from the studio's re-owned library spanning over 100 years of storytelling. These films have never been looked better on Blu-ray, each lovingly remastered from 4K film transfers, featuring never-before-seen bonus content and exclusive collectible packaging. All right, so that's the whole gist behind this Paramount Presents series that they did. I think the other ones you were able to get the day this came out was Fatal Attraction, Days of Thunder, I think with Tom Cruise. I think Pretty in Pink from the 80s. That movie, it's like an essential movie from the 80s. And what was the other movie? I think it had Cary Grant in it. I think it was called How to Catch a Thief. I think that's what it was called. Cary Grant is awesome. Anyways, so this came out the same day as those. So let me just show you the box and how it looks and everything first before I ramble. All right, so here's the front, okay? And this is a little slipcover that's on it. Here's the back. Here's a paragraph I just read. This is about the film, all right? And here's the spine of this movie. As you can see, there's a number 2. Because this was second in that series of the first 6 they released. So that's why there's a number 2. So, all right. So let me, oh yeah. And look at this. This is pretty cool. This opens up like this. I guess it's part of the exclusive packaging. It looks like the original movie poster. So that's pretty awesome. All right, so now let's take off the slipcover. And look at this. So same thing. All right. Let me just take the disc out so you can see the inlay. But here's the disc itself. Nothing special. And here's the disc inlay. Has some publicity shots from King Creole. And there's a little quote in here from Leonard Maltin. He's like a film critic of classic movies. If you watch TCM, which I love old movies and I love TCM, he's like a classic film critic. He put, "This is Elvis at his musical peak and his dramatic peak as well," which is pretty true. He had a couple of good dramatic films, but there's that. Okay? I should put the disc back. All right. So let me just talk about, well, the special features. You know, it said unreleased bonus content. Filmmaker focus. That Leonard Maltin guy discusses King Creole. It's like a little 6-minute thing. He just discusses it and basically gives his critical opinion on it, which is a good opinion. So, and that's really the only bonus content on this. It doesn't have the theatrical trailer, but it says play the songs directly by selecting the scenes. So the whole soundtrack of the movie is in scenes like Lover Doll, Crawfish, Trouble. Every song from the original soundtrack is a scene. You can just watch the music scenes if you wanted. So that's pretty cool. All right. So let me talk about how it sounded first. We're going to talk about now what I thought of it. So how it sounded. This sounded awesome. I really feel like, you know, it says in its description they did a 4K transfer. So I'm assuming also they did the sound too. The sound was very clear. And with the musical numbers, it was awesome too, because I feel like they used probably the original movie masters, which is, if they did, it's great. It just sounded really clear. The clarity was on it. The fidelity was great of it. Of the music scenes. I thought this was very, very good. Okay. So now the big thing is, how did this look? All right. So obviously it says it was transferred to 4K. So I mean, I'm not, someone explained to me in the comments, okay, I'm thinking there's different stages of 4K, because there's this is still on Blu-ray. It's not on a 4K Blu-ray disc. So, and then you have that 4K UHD, I guess it's ultimate high definition. So maybe this is one step up from Blu-ray, regular 4K. Am I wrong? I don't know. Somebody explain to me how it goes. But this is a 4K transfer of the film, apparently. So they cleaned it up for this release and everything. And I'm going to tell you guys, people, this movie really does look amazing. It really brings new life to it. I had the original DVD of this. I popped in the original DVD, watched it. The clarity isn't there as much. I mean, you really do see a difference in the transfer. It really, really does look amazing. And this is one of those films that are very worthy to being on Blu-ray anyways. When you watch it, you can see the detail more. You can see the detail on, you know, the wardrobe of the whole cast of the movie. Of Elvis, you can see the detail in his hair. You know, Elvis also, he didn't have the best skin. You can see, like, his big pores he had on his face, you know? I mean, it really was remastered great. And I do not have a 4K TV. Now I wish I did to watch this, to see probably the clarity of it and the smoothness of it more. So I bet if I had a 4K TV, it would do it more justice. And actually, I wanted to buy one so bad, but anyways. But I can't talk enough about this. This looks amazing. It really is crisp and clean looking, very smooth. Like I said, you can see layers. You can see the texture of certain stuff in here. It really was truly great. Because a lot of Elvis movies are not on Blu-ray. And sadly, I feel like a lot of his movies will never be on Blu-ray. Because, I mean, let's face it, a lot of them aren't really worthy for being on Blu-ray. I want to say this is the 5th film that's on Blu-ray now. 5th or 6th. And I own them all that are on Blu-ray. There's the Love Me Tenders on Blu-ray. Jailhouse Rock. Now King Creole. Viva Las Vegas. Elvis, That's the Way It Is. Well, the special edition version is, not the original movie. And Elvis on Tour. So 6 out of 33 of his movies are on Blu-ray now. And I think majority of his movies are owned from Paramount. So I wonder if you're going to do any more in the series of Elvis movies in this little Paramount Presents series. That would be cool. I can see them doing, because I think these two movies I'm about to name are both Paramount releases. Blue Hawaii, and I could definitely see him doing Blue Hawaii, and maybe GI Blues. Other than that, all the other Paramount movies he did, they weren't that great. Unless they did like a big Blu-ray box set of all his movies. But you know, when it comes to Elvis's films, whatever film studios own those, it's really up to them. It has nothing to do with the estate. Remember that. So, but you never know. I mean, I would hope that box set, if they did come out, will be at a cheaper price, because those movies aren't like quality. So, but anyways, so now I'm at my verdict already. What do I think of this release? Am I happy that I got this? Do I think it's worth getting? Yes, it is definitely worth getting. This is a movie that really deserved to be on Blu-ray, because it really is a great movie. Like I said, the stars aligned when this movie was made. Strong cast. I mean, you got all these classic veterans that are in this movie. You got Walter Matthau. You got Vic Morrow, who was in a lot of great movies, even at that time. I can never remember his name, but he's got to play one of the guys that hung out with Vic Morrow's character. His name, they called him Dummy. He had like a speech impediment thing. He was in Rebel Without a Cause with James Dean. And it's a little side note, in case you guys didn't know, this movie, probably the original concept of the movie with A Stone for Danny Fisher, the book, this movie was supposed to go to James Dean, and of course he passed, and they held on to it, and they rewrote it for Elvis. So that's really cool. And who else is in this movie? Carolyn Jones, Dolores Hart, who was in her first movie with Loving You. And there's a lot of other guys in here. I can't remember their names. The guy who played Elvis's father, he was in a lot of good movies. The guy who owned the club in this movie, the club King Creole, he was in a movie. He was in a lot of great movies too. Those guys were in the movies together, like a classic war movie. But strong cast, and on top of that, a very strong director for this movie. Michael Curtiz, who did a lot of great movies in the past. Most notably, Casablanca. Other ones he did was White Christmas. There's just so many. I saw a list recently because I looked them up after I watched this. And I'm like, he did this. I think he did the Adventures of Robin Hood with Errol Flynn. That just came to mind. Just a lot of great movies. A lot of great movies. This was a good quality movie that deserves to be on Blu-ray. So if you are a fan of Elvis's movies, especially the very good ones, I suggest this. I got this off Amazon. I want to say I paid between $18 to $20. But this may fluctuate. Stuff like this, they don't like sitting in their warehouse. I know a guy who works at Amazon. They don't like sitting in their warehouse. So eventually, if you want to wait, I'm sure the price will go down on this. But yeah, so this is one of very few movies I think we're going to get on Blu-ray of Elvis. So if you're able to get this, and you really like Elvis's movies, and this is a lot of favorites for, some people say this is Elvis's best movie. A lot of people consider this their favorite. You may want to get this. The packaging I thought was great. I mean, it's kind of a predictable cover. This is kind of the same image that was used on the DVD cover. But, what do you expect? Whatever. But it's a very good release. I totally recommend it. So I'm going to stop right here before I sound repetitive. So I thank you guys for watching. Hope I helped you guys decide if you want to get this or not. And are you going to get it? Let me know in the comments. And other than that, thank you guys for watching. And still continue to be safe out there till this whole thing passes. And I will see you guys in the next video. See you later and goodbye.